has just landed to carry another 120 persons. They were processed at the Kendall G. L. Isaac Center before being transferred to shelters. In addition, approximately 100 evacuees from Acklands were safely transported, including elderly and medically vulnerable individuals who were given priority assistance. Evacuees are now being housed across 7 activated shelters on New Providence, the Nassau Village Community Center, New Bethlehem Baptist Church, Remnant Tabernacle Church of God, Epworth Hall, which serves as our special needs shelter, Regis Hotel, the New Providence Community Center, and the Fox Hill Community Center. The Disaster Risk Management Authority, the Department of Social Services, and the National Emergency Operations Center remain in continuous communication, closely monitoring shelter capacity, transport logistics, and storm development. Supplies are being managed carefully to ensure that we can support all evacuees and any additional arrivals as conditions evolve. I want to again thank the people of Mayaguana, Inagua, Crooked Island, Acklands, Long Key, and Ragged Island for your cooperation and courage in following the evacuation orders. Because of your wise decisions, hundreds of Bahamians are now safe and secure tonight. Evacuations will continue through Tuesday. However, there will be a cutoff point, after which flights will cease and emergency assistance will be paused until the all clear has been issued. To those who have not yet chosen to evacuate, I urge you to do so now. Once the storm arrives, it will not be possible to reach you until conditions improve. For residents on islands under hurricane warning but not under evacuation order, I encourage you to continue preparing. Secure your homes, check on your neighbors, and prepare to shelter in place. To our brothers and sisters in the Northern Bahamas, please continue to monitor the official updates and remain alert. This has been a challenging day for our nation, but also an inspiring one. Across every island, airport, and shelter, Bahamians have shown discipline, unity, and love for our country. That is the strength that defines us as Bahamians. Let us remain vigilant, let us stay prepared, and let us continue to look out for one another as one people, united in faith and purpose. Together, we prepare, together, we protect, and together, we will prevail. Thank you, and may God continue to bless and keep the Commonwealth of the Bahamas safe during this period. Thank you.
Thank you, Minister, for those updates and words of encouragement. We will now move to the question and answer segment, and the Minister will field questions along with the Managing Director.
Is there any repercussions for persons that don't evacuate, given the mandatory evacuation?
As Minister Lundy alluded to, once the evacuation pauses for the passage of Hurricane Melissa, you will be cutting yourself off from any support that we can be able to provide. So we strongly encourage the following of those mandatory evacuations. Those in those family islands, one thing I would like to say is to follow the guidance of the administrator, who is the lead on the ground representing the authority. Of course, those evacuations will take place in an orderly fashion, with prioritizing most vulnerable first, and with the last being the law enforcement units, as well as the essential services to leave those islands.
What are the scheduled times for those additional evacuation flights tomorrow? What are the cutoff times?
We have 5 aircraft that will be leaving New Providence tomorrow morning, commencing at 5 a.m. We will provide those details first to the administrators later this evening, and then we will publish those through our communication channels to you later this evening. So those aircraft start their flights at 5 a.m.
How many people have been evacuated thus far, and how many people do you anticipate will be evacuated until the cutoff point?
Right now, as Minister said, there has been 274 from Inagua and 100 from Acklands. We anticipate well over 1,400. That was the initial call before the evacuation orders were given. We anticipate or suspect that that may increase over time. We are working diligently through the night with the administrators. Of course, our operation is 24/7, and so the administrators are working to properly provide us with the numbers so that we can be able to amend if need be and provide more assets where it is needed.
Will all evacuees be brought to New Providence, or is there an option for other family islands?
So all will be brought to New Providence. As we know, these storms today now have the prospects of evolving and sometimes wobbling, as we sometimes call it, and so we feel that the safest route is to bring them into New Providence, and so all evacuees will be brought into New Providence, and either they are able to shelter in with family and friends, or at one of the shelters that we will activate for them.
Is there maybe like a particular, I know the storm is when it's expected to make landfall here, it'll be a category 2?
Projected, yes.
Yeah, so is there a reason why the mandatory evacuation for a category 2?
It's not just as simple as a category 2. If you look and we go back to just as recent as Tropical Storm Imelda, which brought 8 to 10 inches of rain, you would appreciate that in the southeastern Bahamas it is low-lying, with the exception of Ragged Island. And a Cat 2 could pose immense challenges with the capacity that was being lower than what it is in the capital and in Grand Bahama, or the coping capacity that are in the much more developed islands. And so out of an abundance of caution, as the Prime Minister said earlier, this is the reason for the evacuation. We are seeing Bahamians take pride in evacuating and requesting to be evacuated into safety.
Well, Vikings at NS News. I have a question for the Deputy Director of the Department of Meteorology. Much of the commentary about this system has been about how unpredictable the system seems to be. Can you speak specifically to the factors that are driving the system's unpredictability, please?
Yes, the storm, as you are saying, has been very slow moving. We are still waiting on the eventual turn towards the northeast. Right, so that's one of the challenges right there, knowing exactly when that turn is going to be towards the Bahamas. Because the longer it takes to make that move towards the northeast, the more it could affect the more northern and northwest islands. So that's one of the things. The next thing is that there's a front that is moving towards the northern Bahamas, and that is supposed to be the drawing factor to pull it up towards the Bahamas and towards the northeast. So when the timing is right with the two, that's when the actual storm would move. But what is good about the projection is that once the storm starts to move northeastward, it would move much faster. So we're looking at between 14 to 18 miles an hour, which is at a good pace, meaning that we will not be under the effects of the storm for too long, meaning that by Thursday we are hoping that the storm will be out of the Bahamas and to the northeast into the Atlantic.
Mr. Longley, some residents have expressed concern about Water's decision to shut down water at 4:30. Can you just explain the rationale behind that led by the Sweetbridge residents who could be impacted?
Well, I could tell you that was given for the island of Inagua, but it's since been corrected and the water has been restored and turned on. It was where they felt as though all of the last flights were being done today, but that was rectified, and it was just a misunderstanding, but it's been fixed.
And just a follow-up to that question concerning why on the evacuations, as we have just ratified, the Prime Minister and the Interministerial Committee on Disaster Management has ratified the National Disaster Protocols. A major Category 2, 3, or 4, or 5 storm is considered a Tier 3 emergency as it impacts multiple islands, which necessitates the full activation of the National Disaster Emergency Operations Center, as well as potential evacuation orders. So it's just not something that we are pulling out, randomly doing. It is with regards to our National Disaster Coordination Protocols.
Okay, well, if there are no further questions, thank you so much, panelists, for your continued leadership. And we remind the public to stay safe, stay prepared, Use the resources that are available to you. GetReady.gov.bs, which has preparedness information. And together we will stay safe and we will weather the storm. Good night, everyone.
Melissa is leaving a trail of devastation across Jamaica, and now she's coming our way. Tonight on our news, the Prime Minister says it's time to move, and we'll show you what's being done to get families to safety. This as students ride out the storm, most flown home ahead of Melissa, but tonight we hear from one of them who chose to stay as the Category 5 storm bears down. And while we're watching the storm abroad, a miracle story unfolding right here at home. A newborn left in bushes, found alive. The man who made the life-saving discovery speaks out. Then in our news at 7:30.
Days after this hurricane shelter was handed over to the Abaco community, residents are weighing in and some of them aren't too pleased. I'm Berthany McDermott. I'll bring you those details in our news tonight.
Our news live at 7 starts right now. Welcome to our news live at 7. Thanks for joining us tonight. I'm Candino Knowles. Hurricane Melissa has intensified into a powerful Category 5 monster, unleashing catastrophic winds and torrential rain across parts of the Caribbean. In Jamaica, streets in Kingston and Montego Bay flooded tonight, with officials reporting widespread power outages there and mudslides in several communities. The southeastern Bahamas now in the direct path of what's being called the most powerful storm of the 2025 Atlantic hurricane season. The Disaster Risk Management Authority just wrapped a press conference moments ago. Art Delvado Emmanuel was in the room as the Prime Minister addressed the briefing. He's standing by now with more on this. Delvado, what did we hear from the Prime Minister, as well as the Minister responsible for DRM?
Southeast and central Bahamas.
Good evening, Candino. Yes, I can tell you now, a hurricane warning remains in effect for those in the central and south Bahamas. As Hurricane Melissa drenches closer to the islands now, those islands remain under an evacuation order. Those islands including Rum Key, Ragged Island, Exuma, the Keys, Crooked Island, Auckland, as well as Maguana, as well as the Turks and Caicos. Now, I can tell you a number of evacuation flights from Inagua and Auckland are already in the country. Now, they are currently already in the city. They're being held at the Kendall Electric Gym, as well as the Soldier Road, as well as the Village Road Community Center. Now, there are other evacuation flights coming that's scheduled for tomorrow morning, beginning at 5 a.m. Now, I can tell you, Prime Minister, they are pleading to residents on those vulnerable islands to heed these hurricane warnings, heed these evacuation warnings. As you know, the storm is becoming very unpredictable. We've already seen videos from Jamaica with torrential rain and flooding already happening now. That's make the storm very unpredictable. For now, we are asking persons to stay tuned to our new social media pages where we continue to give you live, up-to-date, accurate information. Sending it back to you with the studio, Candino.
All right, thanks so much for that. Art Delvado Emmanuel reporting live from Disaster Risk Management Authority tonight. We'll check back in with him at 7:30. And we'll also check in with meteorologist Greg Thompson for the latest storm coordinates in just a bit. But earlier today, mandatory evacuations issued for vulnerable islands, including Auckland's Crooked Island, Long Key, Inagua, Maguana, and Ragged Island. Joshua Williams, he's been following all the latest emergency developments.
The government is making available the opportunity for you to save your life. Please take advantage of it.
That plea coming from Prime Minister Philip Davis as he issued an evacuation order for residents in Auckland's Crooked Island, Long Key, Inagua, Maguana, and Ragged Island. It comes as Melissa strengthened into a Category 5 hurricane storm as it churned its way east today. The PM read the evacuation order at a press conference this morning.
On the basis of evidence of the risk of severe flooding and storm surge in the southeast Bahamas due to Hurricane Melissa, provided by the Disaster Risk Management Authority, that there exists a high probability that failure to act diligently may endanger the health or safety of persons.
Shelters in New Providence will open to take in those who don't have anywhere to go. Those exact preparations, travel logistics, and other important information will be shared during a Disaster Risk Management Authority press briefing this evening. Forecasters say we'll start to feel the impact of the storm here in the Bahamas late Tuesday, heading into Wednesday. Right now, dozens of Bahamians are in Jamaica, including students and former Foreign Affairs Minister and current leader of the opposition business in the Senate, Darren Henfield, who was attending a wedding. Davis says he's hoping for the best.
I've been in contact, with Prime Minister Andrew Holness of Jamaica earlier to personally extend the support of my government and the Bahamian people and to join other Caribbean leaders in offering any assistance we can provide.
Just like in Hurricane Dorian, there's the possibility that some residents may not want to leave their homes, but the Prime Minister had this stern warning.
The Defense Force and Police Force are empowered to use reasonable measures to ensure that they comply with the evacuation order. If they don't comply by evading the police officers and defense officers, but then all I can say to them, please, to all residents, please comply with the evacuation order.
Reporting for Our News, I'm Joshua Williams.
All right, thanks for that, Joshua. And as residents in southern Bahamas brace for impact, we spoke with officials in Maguana who tell Our News that many residents are already preparing to leave. Vincent Murphy is chief counselor.
At the moment right now, I'm doing some final partner now at the government complex in Suffolk now. So we are all up and ready. Persons have their little baggage pack already, just waiting on the call to say that time to live. 90% of the people plus will be leaving island if there's evacuation, so shelters more likely wouldn't be utilized.
Meanwhile, over in San Salvador, Island Administrator Francis Hepburn says while an evacuation order wasn't in effect, they're making the necessary preparations.
Persons have started batting up their houses, securing sandbags, and subsequently Rumkey Island is doing the same thing. We are getting that number together. I guess persons are trying to weigh in. We are trying to our best for persons who are vulnerable to encourage them. But at present, we don't have any such persons wishing to leave.
And as Hurricane Melissa pounds Jamaica, some Bahamian students choosing to ride out the storm there. Approximately 17 of them sheltering in place tonight at universities across Kingston. That's according to Bahamian Student Association President Victoria Jean-Jacques. Last Friday, the Davis administration coordinated an emergency flight that brought nearly 100 students home, but Jean-Jacques, along with a small group of others, decided to stay. Video shared with our news from the campus of the University of West Indies, Mona, shows gray skies, gusty winds, and periods of rain. She tells us that they're all prepared.
We have some of them on halls, the different halls at UWI campus, and then we also have some persons that actually moved off campus. Everyone is doing fine for right now. We received some items. Our Consular General representative, Miss Alvida Knight, she actually gave us some things yesterday. Each Bahamian student received a flashlight. We got 2 treats, and we got water as well as a radio for each individual hall.
And she says university representatives are in constant communication with the students. Jolise Johnson, another one who opted to ride out the storm there.
We got a list of shelters close by. They also have specific areas on campus designated as a evacuation zone or where people should meet up in the event of evacuation. So we've been the communication has been good on all fronts, I think.
And we go now to meteorologist Greg Thompson, who's standing by in the Weather Center. And Greg, Melissa's turned into quite the storm. I've heard it being compared to what we recently experienced with Dorian.
Yep,
yeah?
I think this one is going to be a little worse than Dorian because those Category 5 winds are going to be lashing Jamaica in a short while. As we speak, those winds are starting to spread across that area. So we're going to be praying for those guys down there.
Sure thing.
Countrymen and, of course, Bahamian students. So we pray that they remain safe. But yeah, 2 words the National Hurricane Center tend not to use in any of their discussions: powerful and catastrophic. This is one of those. Category 5 storm moving into Jamaica area right now. The 5 p.m. position places this system at 16.7 degrees north, 78.4 west, and this system will continue to move towards the northwest very slowly. It's made that northwest jog. Winds up to 175 miles per hour. This is a very strong and dangerous Category 5 system, and that system will continue to push towards the northwest. Eventually, through tomorrow and into Tuesday, we expect that to turn more towards the north and northeast and be across Jamaica by tomorrow afternoon, and then eventually moving across eastern Cuba Wednesday morning and into the southeast Bahamas by Wednesday afternoon. Tropical storm conditions will be ahead of this system, so don't just concentrate on that, because these winds are going to be spreading across, and a lot of showers and thunderstorm activity will be spreading across us as well. So once again, very, very potent storm. And over the next couple of days, we expect the system to quickly race out. So hopefully it'll be in and out of here very fast. Back to you.
All right. Thanks so much for that, Greg. We'll check back in with you at the bottom of the hour. But a shocking discovery off Marshall Road this morning. A newborn baby found alive after being abandoned in nearby bushes. The man who made the discovery recalling the moment with our Delvado Emmanuel.
It was shortly after 9 a.m. this morning when a passerby was walking through the community making his daily walk. Only to his amazement, it was a newborn baby still in the fetal position.
It sounded like a cat, right? But, you know, being a father of 3, I know what a baby sounds like. And I just went and started to kind of push the bush away and discovered that there were a baby literally in the bushes with the umbilical cord still attached to the body and wrapped around the neck.
Police alerted the media around 10 a.m., saying the baby was still conscious and was transported to hospital. It was along this track road behind the stack of sticks where the baby boy, believed to be less than a day old, was found. Despite the distressing scene, he says his first instinct was to pray.
I didn't want to get hands on, but I was there praying for the baby. But I eventually called my wife. She came with a blanket and we kind of wrapped the baby in a blanket and made sure that the baby was secured.
The desolate mangrove area is home to these stray dogs, which makes it even more harmful conditions. Gator says the thought of what could have happened still has him shaken, especially after seeing how high the water later rose in the area.
If the child was still there with the water this high, the child would have drowned. Yeah, because the way the child head was down like this, it don't have the strength to move his head from this water.
Now hailed as a hero, Gator says he's not seeking praise, only compassion for the child's mother.
I'm going up by the hospital to check on the child. That is definitely, I'm going to check on that child. And I just hope at the end of the day, if the mother comes forward, I'm hoping to have a hands-on talk with her to encourage her.
Reporting for our news, I'm Delvado Emmanuel.
All right, thanks for that, Delvado. Meanwhile, a man accused of killing his pregnant mistress and dumping her body in bushes is behind bars. 31-year-old Reuben Cartwright Jr. appeared before Chief Magistrate Roberto Reckley, charged with the October 19th murder of Lauren Saunders. He was not required to enter a plea and was denied bail. He'll return to court on January 22nd for his voluntary bill of indictment. Saunders' partially decomposed body was found in bushes off Munnings Drive last Wednesday, just 3 days after she was reported missing. On Sunday, Police Commissioner Shannon Nolan said pathologists couldn't give a definitive cause of death, but police are still proceeding with the murder charge. And the pursuit of a hit-and-run suspect ended in a fatal shooting and murder charges for two men. 28-year-old Dewson Thomas and 36-year-old Ravano Lightburn are accused of killing Kenrick Pratt. Police say the incident began on October 19th when Pratt allegedly knocked a man off his bike on Miami Street. The suspects then reportedly chased Pratt and opened fire, causing him to crash into a parked car outside Early Bird Supermarket on Robinson Road. He died at the scene. The men were not required to enter pleas and were denied bail. They're expected back in court January 22nd, 2026 for their voluntary bill of indictment.
Coming up in sports, we were wondering when Franco Miller Jr. was going to sign, but he decided 1 year in Spain was enough. Time to head to the G League.
Hey, Greg Thompson here, and thank you for watching. Be sure to hit that follow button. And if you want to see more content like this, follow all of our news social media pages. And hey, don't forget to turn on your notifications so you never miss out on the top stories from the team you already trust.
My name is Trevi Williams. I've been a Live Fiber customer since March 2024. The installation process was seamless, effortless, and extremely fast. The gentlemen that came to the installation were very helpful, reliable, very knowledgeable, and the time allocated to do the installation was shorter than the time specified. Yeah, the previous provider I had, I noticed that the internet speed actually had intermittent services, so I was very grateful that the Live Fiber was available in my area. Once I was able to make the switch, my service and everything I needed was satisfied. My favorite feature would actually be being able to add any apps from the Play Store. It's just basically making any dumb TV a smart TV. I do a lot of back-end support, engineering support, helping clients working remotely when I'm from home. The internet is a very important aspect of my job and my life. My name is Trey Williams, and the future is home with a Live Fiber.
Bulk up your business and communication with parents, students, and staff in seconds with a Live Business Bulk SMS messaging. This is the perfect tool to keep you connected and easily send important updates, event reminders, and emergency alerts. Keep your campus informed and connected with bulk SMS messaging from a Live Business. The right choice for fast, reliable communication. For more information, contact the experts.
Welcome to Our Sports at 7, presented by 10th Year Seniors. I'm Ronaldo Dorset. That's John Mark Nutt. Let's do show. The NBA G League doesn't guarantee you success, but it does get you one step closer to the association. We don't know what happens next, but what we do know, this is a seminal moment in the basketball career of Franco Miller Jr. Miller was selected by the Santa Cruz Warriors in the 2025 NBA G League draft with the 27th pick of the second round, 58th overall. It'll be a quick transition from European play back to the United States. Miller is coming off a strong rookie season in Spain for Palma in the Primera FEB League. He averaged just over 10 points, 3 boards, and 3 assists per game.
The Los Angeles Lakers are severely short-handed and are starting the season in the worst way possible. No LeBron, no Luka, no problem for now. Aiden posted his first double-double as a Laker last night in a 127-120 road win over the Sacramento Kings. Aiden dropped 22 points on 10 of 17 from the field and pulled down 15 rebounds, both season highs. He also added 2 assists, 1 block, and 1 steal in 36 minutes.
Mountain West coaches are very familiar with Dayton Albury. They saw the breakout season at Utah State, so when he made the move to New Mexico, they knew what he's bringing to the table. Albury was named to the preseason All-Mountain West Conference team for the upcoming season. The graduate transfer guard made his debut in a preseason loss to the Washington State Cougars, 74-66. He fouled out in just 22 minutes with 6 points and 4 boards. That'll do it for Our Sports. Stay tuned to Our News at 7:30 for details on these stories and more.
When Our News comes back from the break, we turn our spotlight to stories making headlines across the world as tourists scramble to leave Jamaica ahead of impact. Hurricane Melissa bears down, bringing dangerous storm surge. Plus, as tensions rise across the region, the U.S. Navy arrives in Trinidad for joint military training. And air traffic controller shortages force a temporary ground stop at LAX on Sunday. We'll tell you the other airports impacted when Our News returns.
Yo, what's good, my loyal viewers? Ronaldo Dorset of 10YS here. First of all, thanks so much for watching, but be sure to hit that follow button. If you'd like to see more content like this, follow all of the Our News social media pages, and of course, don't forget to turn on your notifications so you never miss out on the top stories from the team, well, from the teams you already trust.
My name is Atreyu Williams. I've been a Live Fiber customer since March 2024. The installation process was seamless, effortless, and extremely fast. The gentlemen that came to the installation were very helpful, reliable, very knowledgeable, and the time allocated to do the installation was shorter than the time specified. Yeah, the previous provider I had, I noticed that the internet speed actually had intermittent on the services, so I was very grateful that the live fiber was available in my area. Once I was able to make the switch, my service and everything I needed was satisfied. My favorite feature would actually be being able to add any apps from the Play Store. It's just basically making any dumb TV a smart TV. I do a lot of back-end support, engineering support, helping clients working remotely when I'm from home. The internet is a very important aspect of my job and my life. My name is Atreyu Williams, and the future is home with a live fiber.
Bulk up your business and communication with parents, students, and staff in seconds with a live business bulk SMS messaging. This is the perfect tool to keep you connected and easily send important updates, event reminders, and emergency alerts. Keep your campus informed and connected with bulk SMS messaging from a live business. The right choice for fast, reliable communication. For more information, contact
This is Our News. Welcome back. We turn our attention now to stories making headlines across the world. Hurricane Melissa has explosively strengthened to a rare Category 5 storm, passing directly over Jamaica. Officials warning it will be the strongest storm in the island's history. Both international airports are now closed. Tourists and locals have fled the island. Melissa expected to bring a life-threatening 13-foot storm surge and up to 3 feet of rain.
It was a great experience until the weather. Till the weather came. It was treacherous.
Yeah, hi. We're on vacation. It was supposed to be for 8 days. We made it 7 days because of the hurricane. so we're leaving a day early.
We are leaving 2 days earlier. WestJet managed to finally get a rescue flight for us. So we're leaving on the 7:45 flight to go home.
The United States Navy destroyer USS Gravely has arrived in Trinidad and Tobago for joint military training just miles from the Venezuelan coast. The warship's arrival comes amid a major U.S. military buildup in the region, including the deployment of the USS Gerald Ford aircraft carrier group. Venezuela immediately condemned the move as a hostile provocation, accusing Trinidad of coordinating with Central Intelligence Agency to spur a military confrontation. And the federal government in the United States, the shutdown is now directly grounding flights. Air traffic controller staffing shortages worsened by the lack of pay forced a temporary ground stop at Los Angeles International Airport on Sunday. Transportation Secretary Sean Duffy warned travelers to expect more chaos, confirming controllers are wearing thin and calling in sick at record numbers. Staffing issues also caused takeoff and arrival disruptions at major hubs, including in Chicago and New Jersey. And a major break in the brazen $102 million jewelry heist at the Louvre. French authorities have arrested suspects in the theft of France's crown jewels. The Paris prosecutor confirmed one man was nabbed at Charles de Gaulle Airport on Saturday night just as he was trying to fly out of the country. Local media reports say at least 2 men in their 30s have been taken into custody. Still to come in our news, today in history, find out interesting facts about the day that was October 27th. Then in our news at 7:30.
Days after this hurricane shelter was handed over to the Abaco community, residents are weighing in and some of them aren't too pleased. I'm Berthany McDermott. I'll bring you those details in our news tonight.
Plus, he went to Jamaica for his brother's wedding but ended up trapped in the middle of a Category 5 storm. Our coverage of Hurricane Melissa back in focus. The former Foreign Affairs Minister shares what it's like riding out the storm with fellow Bahamians when our news returns.
My name is Troy Williams. I've been a Live Fiber customer since March 2024. The installation process was seamless, effortless, and extremely fast. The gentlemen that came to the installation were very helpful, reliable, very knowledgeable, and the time allocated to do the installation was shorter than the time specified. Yeah, the previous provider I had, I noticed that the internet speed actually had intermittent on my services, so I was very grateful that the live fiber was available in my area. Once I was able to make the switch, my service and everything I needed was satisfied. My favorite feature would actually be being able to add any apps from the Play Store. It's just basically making any dumb TV a smart TV. I do a lot of back-end support, engineering support, helping clients working remotely when I'm from home. The internet is a very important aspect of my job and my life. My name is Troy Williams, and the future is home with a live fiber. My name is Troy Williams. I've been a Live Fiber customer since March 2024. The installation process was seamless, effortless, and extremely fast. The gentlemen that came to the installation were very helpful, reliable, very knowledgeable, and the time allocated to do the installation was shorter than the time specified. Yeah, the previous provider I had, I noticed that the internet speed actually had intermittent on my services, so I was very grateful that the live fiber was available in my area. Once I was able to make the switch, my service and everything I needed was satisfied. My favorite feature would actually be being able to add any apps from the Play Store. It's just basically making any dumb TV a smart TV. I do a lot of back-end support, engineering support, helping clients working remotely when I'm from home. The internet is a very important aspect of my job and my life. My name is Troy Williams, and the future is home with a live fiber.
NFL season is back, and Cable Bahamas is...
On this day in Bahamian history in 2021, Prime Minister Philip Davis revealed a stunning $1 billion gap between the former administration's pre-election report and the country's actual debt, blasting the minister-led government for lacking transparency. Davis also promised to tighten the Fiscal Responsibility Act to keep future governments accountable.
It is painfully clear that the pre-election report was an incomplete presentation of the government's contingent and real liabilities. For example, it excluded over $100 million of contracts executed by the Ministry of Works.
2 years later, in 2023, Governor General Dame Cynthia Pratt issued the writ of election for West Grand Bahama and Bimini by-election after the passing of Obadiah Wilchcombe. The PLP's Kingsley Smith went on to win the seat on November 22nd that year. And in 2024, a plane crash near Ragged Island's Duncantown Airport, killing 2 people on board. All right, to watch that historical recap again and for all of today's top stories, you can visit ournews.bs. It's going to do it for us in News at 7. Natalia Hall, she's up now with the latest headlines. And Natalia, we were talking, Greg and I, about Melissa and how similar it is to Dorian.
Yeah.
I know you know.
Right now, I feel for the people in Jamaica and, of course, the southeastern Bahamas as it moves closer to the country. It gives me flashbacks of Dorian.
I know.
It wasn't a good time.
You and Megan and all those in Freeport and the wider Grand Bahama community.
And years later, we still feel it.
Yeah.
All right, thanks so much, Ken. Well, we are still tracking Hurricane Melissa as she makes her way across Jamaica. Here are your latest headlines. First tonight on our news at 7:30, monster storm Melissa tearing through the Caribbean tonight, knocking out power in some parts of Jamaica. Now the southeastern Bahamas braces for impact as officials issue urgent warnings. Also, some Bahamians are choosing to stay put as Hurricane Melissa pounds Jamaica. The Consulate General giving an update on those weathering the storm on the island. Plus, years after it was promised, a new hurricane shelter is finally complete in Abaco, but not everyone is satisfied. Some residents say the facility may not stand up to a Category 5 storm. And later, a forensic expert unable to link the accused to viral voice notes at the heart of a high-profile corruption case. The story when our news live at 7:30 returns.
Candino Notes here, and thank you so much for watching. Be sure and hit that follow button if you want to see more stories like this. Be sure and follow all of the R News social media pages. And hey, don't forget, turn on your notifications so you never miss out on top stories from the team you already trust.
Are you or a loved one under medical care? Do you need affordable medical supplies? Ports International is the largest home healthcare supplier. Medical supplies at the very best price, and you can even shop online. From hospital beds to wound care, wheelchairs to walkers, Ports is a one-stop shop for your medical supplies, and we accept insurance. We have online shopping and 2 locations to serve you, at the Airport Industrial Park and Shirley Street. We also ship to the Family Islands. Shop online and visit us on Facebook. Call Ports at 377-1771.
Whether you're battling a chronic condition or offsetting a new injury, Doctors Hospital's comprehensive rehab services offer the help you need now.
Go to doctors.
3 advanced facilities at Collins Avenue, Carmichael Road, and Cable Beach means your personalized plan for care is just a visit away. From physiotherapy to occupational therapy and speech and language pathology, our team approach is all about rebuilding together. For a full list of services, visit doctorshosp.com/rehabilitation. Doctors Hospital, trusted and best care now. Isn't your health worth it?
Welcome to our news. Thanks so much for joining us. I'm Natalia Hall. Well, Hurricane Melissa has intensified into a powerful Category 5 monster storm, unleashing catastrophic winds and torrential rain across parts of the Caribbean. In Jamaica's streets in Kingston and Montego Bay are flooded tonight, with officials reporting widespread power outages and mudslides in several communities. The southeastern Bahamas is now in the direct path of what's being called the most powerful storm of the 2025 Atlantic hurricane season. We'll check in with meteorologist Greg Thompson for the latest coordinates in just a bit, but we begin at the Disaster Risk Management Authority, which wrapped up a press conference less than an hour ago where the Prime Minister gave an update. Our Delvardo Emmanuel is standing by with more. Delvardo, what can you tell us?
Giving Natalia, I can tell you right now, the hurricane warning remains in effect for the central and southeast Bahamas. That includes islands like Ragged Island, Cricket Island, Inagua, Maguana, Exuma, and the Keys. Now, those islands, an evacuation warning has been placed on those islands. I can tell you now that there have been 2 flights already here in the capital. One flight from Inagua and one flight from Auckland, with about over 300 persons evacuees are now already in the country. Now they're being held at areas like the Kennedy Isaac Gym, the Nassau Village Community Center, as well as Breezes. Now, Prime Minister, during our press conference today, he reiterated that evacuation warnings must be adhered to. Now, earlier we saw footage from places like Jamaica where the storm has already been a lot of landfall, torrential rain. Now, with hurricane warning mean that can experience some hurricane conditions within the next 36 hours. They are warning residents to take heed to those emergency orders. Now, I ask everyone to stay tuned to our new social media pages where we continue to give you live and accurate updates. Send it back to you at the desk, Natalia.
All right, thanks so much for that, Delvardo. Our Delvardo Emmanuel reporting live from the Disaster Risk Management Authority, where the Prime Minister just wrapped up a press conference. As Hurricane Melissa continues to make her way through the Caribbean Sea towards Jamaica, Bahamian Consul General Alveda Knight says they have not experienced any extreme weather in Kingston. Knight says she's in contact with several Bahamians who stayed on the island.
Okay, so I just hung up from a telephone call with the Bahamian Students Association President, Victoria, and she's alerted me to the fact that so far everything is still fine. It's a little eerie, and the howling of the wind last night made them very uncomfortable. But in Kingston, we still have not felt the extreme weather that some of the other parishes have felt. I've spoken to former Minister of Foreign Affairs, Darren Henfield, who is with a party in Montego Bay. He advises that they're still fine, but they expect that should turn maybe tonight, early tomorrow morning, because they're in Montego Bay and the weather there should definitely pick up.
As for the students who remain, the Consul General had this to say.
The International Students Office at the University of the West Indies has not alerted me as yet, but if they do shelter them, they will shelter them at the shelters on campus. So the university has specific shelter structures on campus, so they will move them from their dorms to that particular shelter. I have not heard back yet from the students of the Northern Caribbean University. That's in Mandeville. I'm waiting to hear back from them or the International Students Office to confirm what's happening up there, but more often than not, the universities have internal shelter structures in place, so the students will move from their dorms to those shelters. As soon as I have asked them, as soon as they have that call has been made by, or that decision has been taken by the university, to let me know, and I will take it from there. If I come down there to spend the night with them, or I just keep in contact with them. And again, that all depends on the weather conditions.
As Hurricane Melissa bears down on Jamaica, flight cancellations have left thousands stranded. As you would have just heard, including former Foreign Affairs Minister Darren Henfield, who traveled to Kingston for his brother's wedding. He tells our news they've been stuck since Sunday after airport shut down. The former Defense Force officer and North Abaco Member of Parliament is no stranger to major storms, having ridden out Hurricane Dorian in 2019. Henfield says the group is staying together.
We're keeping relatively well. We're in a hotel, Dreams Rose Hill, I think its name. It's a Hyatt property. It's an all-inclusive, so, you know, we have food, we have all of the amenities that are still ongoing. And so we're doing well. We're together. We meet often. We discuss, you know, what our plans might be. And we're good for now.
The monster storm is expected to slam into the island overnight and into Tuesday morning. The U.S. National Hurricane Center said on Sunday that Melissa was likely to cause life-threatening and catastrophic flash flooding and landslides in parts of Jamaica. As they brace for the worst, Henfield says they've also been in contact with Bahamian officials.
I have been in touch with the Consul General here, Alveda Knight. I've also been in touch with the Director General of Foreign Affairs. I've been in touch with the Deputy Prime Minister. And the government is aware of us. The government has done all it can in the moment to assist us. We just ask that people pray for not only us Bahamians that are here in Jamaica, but also for Jamaica on the whole, and for those areas that are going to be impacted by this extreme weather event.
Well, years after it was promised, Abaco residents finally got their long-awaited hurricane shelter and community center. But it seems some residents aren't too happy about the outcome. Not only are they unhappy it took years to complete, they're also questioning if the facility will be able to sustain a Category 5 storm. Our Bertha McDermott is on the island and has their reaction.
If a Category 5 hurricane is coming and they ask us to use the shelter, I'll go to CAP, Central Abaco Primary, before I go in that building.
That's the view of one Abaco resident days after the handover ceremony for the long-awaited Hurricane Shelter and Community Center promised by the former Minister administration following 2019's Hurricane Dorian. The shelter came about after Hurricane Dorian ravaged parts of Abaco and Grand Bahama, leaving behind many to piece their lives together. But construction saw multiple delays and an increase in cost over the years.
That's overdue long time.
Yeah.
We got treated like outside people ever go.
Took too long. So, should have been done a long time ago.
A building only supposed to take long to build if the finances in there, if the money there ain't supposed to be no procrastination.
The $4.5 million structure is designed to hold approximately 400 to 800 people during storms and other natural disasters. That's 3% of the island's population. Construction, ventilation, electricity, and running water are completed aspects of the first phase of the project. Meanwhile, Town Planning Board member Stephen Leda says, while it was built to be a hurricane shelter, he believes the structure leans more towards being a community center.
It's a pretty building. It looks to be somewhat structural, but for the purpose that it was intended, to me, it's totally inadequate.
And making matters worse for Abaco residents is when this hurricane shelter was handed over to the community last Thursday, they say they felt left off the program.
I think residents had the feeling that they were shunned from that opening. They should have had a little more participation from locals here.
It was quite a surprise to us because we were not kept abreast. As far as I'm aware, no locals knew of the opening. Locals were not asked to participate in the ceremony.
Reporting for our news, I'm Bertha McDermott.
All right, thanks so much for that, Berthany. Well, meteorologist Greg Thompson is in the Weather Center with more on Hurricane Melissa. Greg, a lot of people are worried. What can you tell us about the storm?
Yeah, this is one to be worried about. Fortunately, we're going to see a powerful storm moving into our area. Of course, hurricane warnings are now in effect for the central and southeastern islands. But they have the evacuation to everywhere, some storm surge, and we share that later on in the newscast. But this is a very powerful, dangerous, and catastrophic system that's going to be moving into Jamaica. It's actually moving into that area right now as we speak. The current position at 5 p.m., 16.7 north, 78.4 west. Winds up to 175 miles per hour. Its movement is very, very slow towards the northwest at 3 miles per hour. And the system will continue at northwest track. By tomorrow, we expect the storm to start turning more towards the north and then northeast, racing across Jamaica. And this is Jamaica right there. System will continue tracking by Wednesday, cross eastern Cuba. Wednesday afternoon into the southeast Bahamas. So if you are still down in the southeast Bahamas, prepare. Turks and Caicos Islands also, you're probably going to be getting some of the tropical storm conditions. But this is going to be a record-setting storm for the next couple of days. That's a first quick check on Melissa. We'll tell you more about where she's going when we come back.
All right, thanks so much for that, Greg. Well, switching gears now, forensic speech analyst hired by prosecutors has been unable to link former CID Chief Michael Johnson, attorney Bjorn Ferguson, or Sergeant D'Angelo Roll to the viral voice messages at the center of their corruption case. The UK-based expert Dr. Christian Kirchbell of Soundscape Voice Evidence found the recordings allegedly of Johnson and Roll soliciting bribes from gang leader Michael Fox Jr. did not match the accused men's voices. She also determined the audio was not AI generated. Justice Dale Fitzpatrick revealed the findings last week, noting the report took away a plank in the chain, casting doubt on the prosecution's case. Prosecutors allege the men were paid off with cash from the $1.4 million Odyssey Aviation heist to protect Fox from charges. Well, a mother has been charged with child cruelty after a disturbing video of her kicking and body slamming her 7-year-old daughter went viral on social media. The 30-year-old woman, whose name is being withheld to protect the child, is accused of attacking her daughter at a home on Cordo Avenue on October 24th. She pleaded not guilty before Assistant Chief Magistrate Cara Turnquest-Devoe. Bail was denied. Her trial is set for January 21st, 2026. Still to come on our news, the Coalition of Independents expanding its 2025 election slate. And 3 months after opening, Carnival Celebration Key is being hailed as an economic lifeline. But are locals really benefiting? In part 1 of our special series, we explore the impact on small businesses when our news returns. Stay with us.
In the Bahamas, island time is real. The history of Morris Lumber Company, established in 1945, is etched into the fabric of this proud island nation. It's a story that deserves to be celebrated in full color, and that's where we come in. Morris the Paint Place has been bringing color and vitality to homes and businesses across the Bahamas. Here, color is more than just a hue, it's a symbol of life. Together, we can paint a brighter future.
My name is Trevi Williams. I've been a Live Fiber customer since March 2024. The installation process was seamless, effortless, and extremely fast. The gentlemen that came to the installation were very helpful, reliable, very knowledgeable, and the time allocated to do the installation was shorter than the time specified. Yeah, the previous provider I had, I noticed that the internet speed actually had intermittent on the services, so I was very grateful that the live fiber was available in my area. Once I was able to make the switch, my service and everything I needed was satisfied. My favorite feature would actually be being able to add any apps from the Play Store.
The Coalition of Independents expanding its slate, adding 2 more candidates ahead of next year's general election. The party last night ratifying educator and author Stephen McQueen for Nassau Village and IT specialist Robert Brown for Fox Hill. During a meeting at its West Bay Street headquarters, the two joined 33 other ratified candidates. McQueen told supporters he's proud to represent a party for the people, while Brown says he's ready to serve his community.
I extend my gratitude to our coalition, family, an organization, a movement, a party rooted in empowerment, where the people are not merely heard, but are truly represented.
If you didn't know me, you will know me now. I grew up in Fox Hill, born in Fox Hill. My father ran in Fox Hill for the Montague constituency.
Now turning to the island of Grand Bahama, where it's been just over 3 months since Carnival Celebration Key officially opened its doors. The multi-million-dollar project was hailed as the economic lifeline the island desperately needed after years of decline, battered by multiple hurricanes and a sluggish recovery. But the much-touted game changer, is it really changing the game? I returned to my home island to investigate whether the project is making a real economic impact or if some Grand Bahamians are still waiting to feel the benefits. Let's take a look. Carnival Celebration Key is the first mega development of its kind in decades for Grand Bahama. For a community that's endured one economic blow after another, the expectations are high. When I returned recently, I drove across the island and also visited inside and outside of Celebration Key to see how much of that economic ripple effect is truly being felt. Among those benefiting is Othniel Pinder, a veteran graphic designer and owner of Sign Masters located on Oak Street. Pinder says Celebration Key representatives reached out to him early on to design and produce much of the site's visual branding.
I was making ends meet, and from I was working with them, I found myself in a more relaxed area in business where I don't have to work from job to job to pay my bills.
From food and drink signage to tram wraps, hard hats, and security vehicles, Pinder says he's been instrumental in creating much of what visitors see when they arrive at the new destination.
In fact, one Saturday I was here working for them and a guy called me on the phone and he said, everybody's called me Cheese. He said, Cheese, right? I said, yes, sir. How can I help you? He said, I'm calling from Carnival head office in the United States. He said, I have a job for you to do, but before I give you the job, I would like to commend or congratulate you on the great job you're doing in Grand Bahama.
He admits the workload has been intense, but says the experience has been rewarding.
What they really taught me is punctuality. Because, they come and they say, hey, we need the sign tomorrow.
For Pinder, while he heard some of the concerns, he says Celebration Key has meant renewed opportunity and proof that local businesses can play a major role in big projects. Now, in part 2 of this series, we'll hear from residents who say they're still waiting for their piece of the pie, and others who believe Celebration Key has been exactly what Grand Bahama needed all these years.
It's now time for tonight's Financial Market Minute, brought to you by RF, your local investment bank. This has been your Financial Market Minute. To explore the best performing mutual funds in the Bahamas, visit our website at www.rfgroup.com.
Coming up in sports, Franco Miller Jr. hears his name called on G League draft night. No LeBron, no Luka, but the Lakers have an 8 and high expectations for Dayton Albury this year in the Mountain West.
NFL season is back, and Cable Bahamas is bringing the action straight to you.
Okay, so I take it from here. This season, Cable Bahamas is the Bahamas' #1 NFL provider. More games than ever before. With any live fiber infinite bundle, Trio or Trio Plus, you unlock Thursday Night Football, Sunday Ticket in 4K, and every highlight that matters. Just opt in the Sports X for $5 a month.
And don't miss a touchdown. Sign up now.
Watch Thursday Night Football exclusively with Rev and the Live Fiber on channel 747 and 748.
You ready for the stormy season? Don't wait until the storm clouds gather. Contact the experts at Alive Business today and let us help you prepare for this hurricane season. For a limited time only, you can get 50% off our Bahamas Cloud, the ultimate solution to secure your data and communications, ensuring they're accessible even in the worst of weather conditions. Don't let the storm catch you off guard this season. Stay ahead of the game with Bahamas Cloud from Alive Business. Are you ready for the stormy season? Don't wait until the storm clouds gather. Contact the experts at Alive Business.
Welcome to Our Sports, presented by 10th Year Seniors. I'm Ronaldo Dorset. That's John Martinut. Let's do show. The NBA G League doesn't guarantee you success, but it does get you one step closer to the association. We don't know what happens next, but what we do know, this is a seminal moment in the basketball career of Franco Miller Jr. Miller was selected by the Santa Cruz Warriors in the 2025 NBA G League draft with the 27th pick of the second round, 58th overall.
It's a blessing for sure. I mean, any way you get to play basketball is always, a blessing. But, just being closer to home and not as far and, coming back to a system that I'm kind of familiar with is definitely something that's a blessing. I'm definitely looking forward to it. And
it'll be a quick transition from European play back to the United States. Miller is coming off a strong rookie season in Spain for Palma in the Primera FEB League. He averaged just over 10 points, 3 boards, and 3 assists per game. Recently for Team Bahamas, he averaged 22.7 points, second in the tournament, and 5 assists per game at the FIBA America. That season against high-level competition helped Miller to adjust to the physicality and pace of the pro game headed into the G League tryouts earlier this month.
The Los Angeles Lakers are severely short-handed and are starting the season in the worst way possible. No LeBron, no Luka, no problem for now. Ayton posted his first double-double as a Laker last night in a 127-120 road win over the Sacramento Kings. Ayton dropped 22 points on 10 of 17 from the field and pulled down 15 rebounds, both season highs. He also added 2 assists, 1 block, and 1 steal in 36 minutes. Ayton also revealed that his teammates trolled him in practice and pregame sessions to get him firing, and that approach seems to be working. He said he let that motivation drive him on the court. Up next, the second night of a back-to-back against a team that bought out Ayton, the Portland Trailblazers.
Hero is my guy. Luka is my guy, but my wings and my forwards, yeah, they be trying to get me ticked off before these games just to get me rolling. And I'm starting to see it's a trend because I don't get a break until we on the court. Then it's all seriousness. I'm like, oh, so this is the thing y'all want to do. Y'all want to get me on edge. Y'all want me fired up.
Mountain West coaches are very familiar with Dayton Albury. They saw the breakout season at Utah State, so when he made the move to New Mexico, they knew what he's bringing to the table. Albury was named to the preseason All-Mountain West Conference team for the upcoming season. The graduate transfer guard made his debut in a preseason loss to the Washington State Cougars, 74-66. He fouled out in just 22 minutes with 6 points and 4 boards. Looking back at last season with Utah State, Albury appeared in all 34 games, starting 23 and averaged 7.8 points and 2.5 rebounds per game. That'll do it for Our Sports. This is 10YS. We got to start planning for Halloween. In another life, we did amazing things on this weekend.
You want to know what spooky hours are going to be?
How spooky?
Dolphins are going to beat the Ravens.
Okay, not that spooky. Back to the studio.
When our news comes back from the break, all eyes on Hurricane Melissa as it moves closer to the Bahamas. Meteorologist Greg Thompson is back with your extended weather forecast, but our news continues.
When I wake up in the
My name is Trevi Williams. I've been a Live Fiber customer since March 2024. The installation process was seamless, effortless, and extremely fast. The gentlemen that came to the installation were very helpful, reliable, very knowledgeable, and the time allocated to do the installation was shorter than the time specified. Yeah, the previous provider I had, I noticed that the internet speed actually had intermittent on the services, so I was very grateful that the live fiber was available in my area. Once I was able to make the switch, my service and everything I needed was satisfied. My favorite feature would actually be being able to add any apps from the Play Store It's just basically making any dumb TV a smart TV. I do a lot of back-end support, engineering support, helping clients working remotely when I'm from home. The internet is a very important aspect of my job and my life. My name is Trey Williams, and the future is home with a live fiber.
NFL season is back, and Cable Bahamas is bringing the action straight to you.
Okay, Zai, let I take it from here. This season, Cable Bahamas is the Bahamas' #1 NFL provider. More games than ever before. With any live fiber infinite bundle, Trio or Trio Plus, you unlock Thursday Night Football, Sunday Ticket in 4K, and every highlight that matters. Just opt in the Sports X for $5 a month.
And don't miss a touchdown. Sign up now.
Watch Thursday Night Football exclusively with Rev and a live fiber on channel 747 and 748.
Are you ready for the stormy season? Don't wait until the storm clouds gather. Contact the experts at Alive Business today and let us help you prepare for this hurricane season. For a limited time only, you can get 50% off our Bahamas Cloud, the ultimate solution to secure your data and communications, ensuring they're accessible even in the worst of weather conditions. Don't let the storm catch you off guard this season. Stay ahead of the game with Bahamas Cloud from Alive.
This is our news. Welcome back. Powerful, catastrophic hurricane Melissa now lashing Jamaica as we speak with some very strong winds, up to 175 mile-per-hour winds, a very potent Category 5 system. The 5 p.m. position places the system now at 16.7 degrees north, 78.4 west. Its movement is towards the northwest. That has made that northwesterly jog now, and it's still moving rather slowly, 3 miles per hour. The system will continue on that track overnight, but by Tuesday morning into Tuesday afternoon, we expect it to make more of a north to northeasterly turn and then move across Jamaica by tomorrow afternoon. Once again, that system will continue to lash Jamaica with some very strong winds and a lot of rainfall expected out of that. By Wednesday, we expect the system to be approaching the eastern tip of Cuba and moving into the southeast Bahamas, so tropical storm conditions will be spreading across that area. Hurricane warnings are now in effect for the central and southeast Bahamas, and of course, as you heard earlier in the newscast, some evacuations have been put in place. That system will continue to move through us, likely very quickly, which is something we like. It's going to not hang around, but we do expect some very significant rainfall, then race out towards the north and into the Atlantic. Some of the rainfall expected with the system, up to 4 to 8 inches expected across the southeast Bahamas with some isolated high amounts, so we're looking for some flooding. So of course those areas do expect some flooding with the system. And then storm surge. We expect as that system continues to track towards the north and east, storm surge will be affecting the islands of the southeast and the central Bahamas, so do act accordingly. Boating, not advised. We're asking boaters to stay out of the waters, high risk of recurrence. Your winds will be out of the southeast to south 10 to 15 knots in the northwest Bahamas, but eventually they will be increasing as the day goes on and into Wednesday. Of course, in the central and southeast Bahamas, that hurricane warning in effect for you areas, you down there as well, and the southeast Bahamas, so boaters really shouldn't be in the water. Here's a look now at your national forecast. In the extended forecast, most of the weather remaining in the central and southeast Bahamas. Like I mentioned, very significant rainfall expected with the system. Strong winds. This will be a Category 2. It's expected to be a Category 2 once it moves into our area. So we are asking you to continue to prepare for this impending hurricane. Let's look at our weather. Stay safe, everybody.
All right, preparation is key. Thanks so much for that, Greg, and thank you for joining us for our news tonight. On behalf of the entire team, I'm Natalia Hall. We'll see you tomorrow night. Have a great evening.
Hi, and thank you for watching. I'm Natalia Hall. Be sure and hit that like and subscribe button if you want to see more content like this. Click right over here. And don't forget to turn on your notifications to see more content from the team you already trust.